Hey, I don't know if I'm going to turn this into a video or not, but I wanted to show you guys something in Streamer.bot that I think a lot of people get scared about. So in Streamer.bot, you know this actions menu where you can do things like right click, add action. You can do things like set source visibility. So you could turn a source on and off. So if I want to go here and like turn my camera on and off, I can do that here. I can set the visibility here, or, you know, all the things that you can do like, let's see what else. What else? What's another thing you can do here? You can like create a clip, you know, all these different actions here. But one of the things that I use a lot, and this is the reason that I really like Streamer.bot a lot, is the ability to just write your own C# code. And if you know a little bit about programming, it's super powerful. It's what I use for like basically everything that I do for my stream. And so if you go down here, add action, and go to C#, there's a thing here called execute C# code. And this scares the shit out of like everybody that's like new to Streamer.bot. Everyone assumes that just because they don't know how to write code that they can't use any of this. So I'm gonna like demystify. I think Bell used the word demystify, so we're gonna use that. We're gonna demystify this code thing here, just so you can get a basic understanding, even if you don't really understand code, right? So basically all of the things that you can do in, with regular sub actions. So all the things here, like setting the stream to emote only mode, or like sending a message in chat, like getting your bot to like put an automated message in chat. You can basically do all that just using C# code, right? So what I'm going to get you guys to do, if you guys are in chat, bookmark this page. This is like the most important page ever. This page right here. This is the documentation. These are all the different things that you can do using the C# code, and it's available all within Streamer.bot. So I'm going to post this in chat here, right? So this contains all the different functions, which functions are basically things that you can do. And that sounds really weird. So let me explain it to you, right? I'll give you an example, right? Let's just say I want to use C# code to like turn a source on and off, right? So normally you go, if you want to turn a source on and off with a sub action, you go here, add action, Twitch, and then you go over to OBS, and then you'd like set source visibility state, and you do it all here. This is like all done within the UI itself, and that's great and all, but if you want extra flexibility, you can do all of the same thing right within the C# code. So if you go edit action, and everything before this thing that says return true, don't worry about what that means, but like you can put all your code here. So we're going to remove this. By the way, anyone who doesn't understand code, if you put slash, this is known as a comment, which is you can just write whatever you want and it doesn't get executed as code, right? So basically you can just like add here different lines of code that you want to add or that you want to run. So for example, if I go over here to our documentation and I want to know like how do I turn a source on and off, or how do I hide a source? So you just look in the list here and it shows all the different things that you can do. So for example, if you go to this OBS section, you can look at one of these lines of code that says, let's see, what's one thing we can do? We can show a source here, right? So we have this thing here that says void. Don't worry about the word void at the moment, okay? But like, just pretend that you don't know what that means, right? This thing here is a function, right? So if we just copy this show source thing here, or we'll use the hide source one, right? This thing says hide source. If we just copy this, go over here. If you type in the letters CPH, so every single function that you want to run from this execute code needs to start with the CPH dot, and then you paste whatever the function is, right? And then inside here where it says like string name or string scene, you just type in the name of the scene that you want. So we're going to replace string scene, and everything has to be in double quotation. So like we'll put the name of the scene that has the source we want to change. So mine is called S reaction. That's the name of my scene that I'm in right now, right? So I'm in S reaction, and then I want to like turn off a source. We'll say it will turn my camera off, which is camera A. Let's go into camera A. Everything. So here where it says string source, you put the name in camera A. And then connection is just like your OBS connection. So I'm gonna press OK here. Your OBS connection, you're probably only gonna have one connection here, most people. So for most people, if you go back into this code here, where it says int connection equals 0, you can either just leave this out, you can just delete it like this. I think for most people that'll be fine. Or you could put connection 0, which just means it's gonna use the first connection in your OBS list that's up here. If you had like 2 OBS connections, then you'd put 1 for like the second one. If you had a third one, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm assuming if you have multiple OBS connections, you know how a basic understanding of how code works. So like, ignore that. Just know that if you're going to run an action here where it says connection, just like you can either put 0 or I'm just going to delete it. And then press compile. And then if your code works, it'll say compiled successfully, and then click save and compile. But basically, like, that's how everything works for the code here. So, like, if you wanted to turn a filter on and off, then you can use this function here that says hide filter. So you can go OBS hide filter and go back into our code. And if we wanted to turn a filter off, we just do the same thing here, right? You type in cph dot, paste whatever the function is, and then replace all these different things with, like, the thing that you want to do. So like the scene, or this is the scene name, so you just put in the name of the scene, again reaction, and then if you have any filters in the scene, then you'd like put in the name of the filter here, and then you can delete this connection. So like just everything you want to do, everything that you can do from the right click menu, you can basically do the same thing in code. You can also do like a delay as well. So you go cph dot, and according to the documentation, if you want to do a delay, I think it's called wait. Yeah, you can use the word wait, and then int just means a number, and you put the number milliseconds. So for me, if I want to put a delay of like 3 seconds, then I can go cph dot wait bracket 3000, and I'll wait for like 3 seconds. So it's basically the exact same thing that you do from the UI, is just done in code. But once you can, like, this is a basic thing that everything I explained up to now is like, you can do all that even if you don't know anything about code. Like, I basically just taught you how that works. But like, once you have a basic understanding of code, then you can like understand how variables work. So like, if you know anything about code, you can put a variable like string scene name equals blah blah blah, this thing here, like this. If you know what code is, you know that this is a variable, and then you can just use this string scene name in place of where you'd put like the actual scene name here. So the reason why it's like super powerful to write all your code this way instead of through the UI is because you have access to all the different things you can do with code, like string manipulation, all the fucking whatever you want to do can all be done in code. And you can write your own functions if you know what those are. It's super cool. And then you can just execute that. So to show that it works, I'm just going to go here. Okay. So this should work. This should turn my camera off. So if I save and compile, and this test action, we'll create a command for this. Test. So if I put test in chat, by the way, this is going to go on YouTube. That's why I haven't been talking to chat right now. But if I type exclamation mark test, because we just created a test command here, and we will enable it. If I press test, it will turn my camera off. It should. Now my camera turned off. So I was basically running C# code to do that. It was running this test code here. So yeah, it's basic, rough understanding of getting started with coding in Streamer.bot, even if you don't understand how code works. So if that was useful for you, Sick. Awesome. Great. Sub and stuff because I'm trying to get this channel monetized. So there you go. Thanks for watching.